In the inside 7 starting spot, car number 39M out of Dillsburg is Anthony Macri. Outside of the 4th row 8 starting spot, car number 21T out of Biglerville is Scott Fisher. And your 9th and final starter in heat number 1 in car number 88 out of Salfordville is Brandon Raymer. That is your starting lineup for heat number 1. Sprint cars in that first heat, we are ready. Let's bring them out. Birthday greetings going out today to B.J. Lawrence. B.J., happy birthday to you. Quentin Flory is watching on Flow Racing from nearby New Oxford. He is rooting for Bradley Howard here today. So Quentin Flory, welcome aboard with Flow Racing. Once again, just a reminder for you, the fans, if you're parked in a reserved parking spot and you didn't pay for it, please move your vehicle. If not, it'll be towed, because some fans who have the reserved spots come in later and then they don't have a place to park. So once again, please be sure to move if you're in one of those spots. Draw and redraw for the first 3 weeks, then we go to handicapping. So we'll have a draw and redraw next week yet. Using the same handicap system for the 358s this season as well. So we push them off. We'll get them lined up here for heat number 1. Two of the drivers that had issues last week, Steve Buckwalter and Freddie Raymer. Decent starting spots here today. Tim Schaefer, a couple of wins already this year for Mike Hefner, and actually a 360 sprinter down in Florida. Buckwalter, who had the only car that brought out the red last week, on the outside of the front row. Freddie Raymer had his issues last week, but it's a long season. And, of course, Kyle Moody, fine second-place finish last week. Jordan Gibler, who had the power steering issues. Car number 90, and beside him, Kerry Madsen. His first ride in the Barsinger car here at Lincoln. They share row number 3. We get to the Mike Yaples starting line, and we are green. Schaefer is going to lead him into 1 and 2. He'll be your leader down the backstretch on lap number 1. Schaefer leads lap 1, followed by Buckwalter and then Moody and then Raymer in that order. They're 1 through 4. Madsen running in 5th, and Schaefer your leader. As we complete lap number 2, Macri in 6th, followed by Gibler and then Brandon Raymer. Schaefer all alone out front. Buckwalter by himself in 2nd. Top 4 pretty solidly in their positions. Got a race for 5th right now between Madsen and Macri. Both in qualifying spots, but that's the best race on the track right now. Macri trying to find a way around the 24 car. Hasn't been able to do it yet, but as they go into 3 and 4, the 39 car up beside the 24 doesn't have the line, and Madsen hangs on to the spot right now. Four laps to go for your leader. Out front, Schaefer your leader. And Madsen now has secured that number 5 spot. Buckwalter 2nd. Moody and Raymer 3rd and 4th. 2 to go this time. Third through 6th tighten up a little bit, but no wheel-to-wheel action right at the moment as the white flag waves for your leader. Schaefer out front. Checkered flag out, and Tim Schaefer is your winner of heat number 1. Tim Schaefer picks up the win in heat number 1, finishing 2nd, the 17B of Steve Buckwalter, 3rd, the 99M of Kyle Moody. Those 3 will redraw for starting spots at the front of today's feature field. 4th, the 51 of Freddie Raymer, 5th, the 24 of Kerry Madsen, and 6th was the 39M of Anthony Macri. There for your qualifiers from heat number 1. Here's how we'll go now in heat number 2. 10 laps of distance, 6 to qualify, 3 to redraw. On the pole, in car 0 from Pennington, New Jersey, is Rick Lafferty. Outside of the front row, 2nd starting spot. Car number 69 out of Spring Grove, Tim Gladfelder. Row 2 on the inside, 3rd starting spot. Car number 39 out of York is Chase Dietz. Outside of the 2nd row, 4th starting spot. In car number 2 out of Ralston, Ohio, is Ricky Peterson. Row 3 on the inside, 5th starting spot. Car number 44 from Hanover, Dylan Norris. Outside of the 3rd row, 6th starting spot out of Manchester, the 7 of Trey Hivner. Row 4 on the inside, 7th starting spot. Car number 21 out of Fawn Grove is Matt Campbell. Outside of the 4th row, 8th starting spot. Car number 59 from New Oxford is Jim Siegel. And your 9th and final starter in heat number 2 in car number 5. Your winner here on opening day from Hanover, Tim Wagaman. So we push him off for the 2nd of 3 heats. Head down to the pits, get a quick word with John Crow and the winner of heat number 1.
Thank you very much. We're down here with Tim Schaefer. Tim, great start to the afternoon.
Great starting spot. You know, it was a big deal there, and you know, just getting the start and taking off.
Getting on the front row, or starting on the front row and getting the jump, you were able to dictate which lane you wanted.
Well, it's just it is what it is. I mean, you just do the best you can, and you know, it's just like I told Heath, just give your best educated guess you can make.
Well, that's what we have to do sometimes. Last Saturday, it was a great run for you guys, starting very deep in the pack, past most cars of anyone. But again, here we are dealing with a bit of Mother Nature and early season racing.
Well, you know, it's just about we're putting ourselves in position and see if we can finish the deal. I mean, it's all you can do. The more chances we get to put ourselves in position to win, you know, sooner or later we get one.
Absolutely. Good to have you back in Central Pennsylvania. Tim Schaefer, the Aliquippa Alcohol All-Star, whatever the hell he is. He's here with us as a part of the posse right now, and he wins heat race number 1.
Thank you, bud.
Green flag out on heat number 2, and Gladfelder is going to be your leader off that second turn. Rick Lafferty running in second spot. And Tim Gladfelder, third place finisher last week, leads lap number 1. Chase Dietz running in third spot. Dylan Norris running in fourth place, followed by Matt Campbell in the 21 and the 7 of Hibner. Gladfelder all alone out front. Gladfelder well out in front. Lafferty followed by Dietz, then Norris, followed by Campbell, and then Hibner. In that order, then the 2 of Ricky Peterson. Gladfelder looking strong here at heat number 2. Lafferty still running second, trying to hold off Dietz. Front wing kind of cockeyed on the 0 car from the start of the race. Gladfelder now with a quarter of a lap lead with 4 laps to go. Dietz still third, Norris is fourth, followed by Campbell and then Hibner. Peterson with not a bad run, his first time ever at the racetrack. Won a big wheelie on the front stretch for the number 2 car, and Waldman trying to close in. 2 laps to go as Gladfelder is just making mincemeat out of this field with the white flag waving, 1 to go. No change in the top 5. Gladfelder looks like he's the last place car. He's so far ahead, and he takes the checkered flag. Tim Gladfelder, your winner of heat number 2. Lafferty second, followed by Dietz, then Norris and Campbell in that order. So picking up the win in heat number 2, the 69 of Tim Gladfelder. And we have been told his fastest lap was 0.4 of a second faster than anybody else in that event. Finishing second, the 0 of Rick Lafferty. Third, the 39 of Chase Dietz. And those 3 will redraw for starting spots at the front of today's feature field. Finishing fourth, the 44 of Dylan Norris. Fifth was the 21 of Matt Campbell. And sixth, the 7. The 7 of Trey Hibner. They're your qualifiers from heat number 2. Here's how we go now in heat number 3. Once again, 10 laps the distance, 6 cars qualify. On the pole, in car number 55, he's out of Sikeston, Missouri, now racing out of Indianapolis, Indiana, Hunter Schurenberg. Outside of the front row, second starting spot, car number 8. From Asper's, Billy Dietrich. Row 2 on the inside, third starting spot, car number 2, W out of York, is Glendon Forsyth. Outside of the second row, fourth starting spot is car number 75 from Lincoln University, Tyler Ross. Row 3 on the inside, fifth starting spot, car number 48 from Gettysburg, Danny Dietrich. Outside of the third row, sixth starting spot, car number 87 from Dover is Alan Crimes. Row 4 on the inside, seventh starting spot, car number 49H, Bradley Howard, Bradley out of York. Row 4 on the outside, eighth starting spot from Thomasville is Chad Trout, car number 1X. And your ninth and final starter in car number 86 out of Hermitage is Mike Lutz Jr. That is your starting lineup for heat number 3. Well, he slowed down enough for John Kroll to talk to him. Your winner of heat number 2 is with John right now.
Indeed, the checker flag waved, and there was Tim Godfelder coming across the line first. Timmy, great run.
Yeah, the car was good. The track's real narrow. You got to start up front and take advantage of a good pill draw. Guys had the car rolling good there, and I caught up to the back of the pack there, and I probably no better than anybody else. I just kind of stayed. I didn't want to lap anyone and take a chance. I figured I was top 3 redraw, so the car's good. Just hope for another good redraw here. If you start 9th, you probably don't have a shot. If you start on the pole, you got a good shot. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, the sun's in and out a little bit. The wind continues to blow. More cars on the track. Is that going to change the track for the feature event?
You know, I was hoping the sun would help a little bit, widen things out, but it's pretty wet. If they run the push trucks and run the cushion in again, maybe by the feature midway it might move up, but right now it's pretty wet. I don't see it getting real wide, but we'll see how it goes.
Just part of it, the way the elements, what the elements have handed us, that's what we have to deal with. We wish you the best in the feature event.
Yeah, thank you, and thanks to the fans that came out when it's this cold, and thanks to my guys who show up here every week and make this car go around.
Very good. Timmy Godfelder with a podium finish last Saturday, picks up the win in heat race number 2, hoping for a good pill draw here today. Wayne, back up to you.
Thank you, John. We'll get them lined up now for heat number 3. Hunter Schurenberg on the pole, racing at Lincoln with a wing for the first time. He has raced here before many years ago in USAC racing, I guess it was, the Eastern Storm Tour or one of them, but has never raced with a wing here. He'll be running with the All-Stars this year, and as we mentioned earlier today, wanted to get some laps in here before the All-Stars come to Lincoln Speedway, and so we may see him for another week or so. But he starts on the pole here now in heat number 3. Green is out. Glendon Forsyth looks to the inside, and he'll grab the top spot as they exit turn number 2. Schurenberg running in second place. Billy Dietrich is in third. And Forsyth leads lap 1. Moving up to fourth place, Tyler Ross. And right behind him is Danny Dietrich. So Forsyth, your leader. Schurenberg running in second. Dietrich is third. Billy Dietrich. Danny Dietrich now challenging the 75 car for fourth, but Ross holds on for right now as they go down the front stretch. Alan Crimes running in sixth. Forsyth well out in front. halfway for your leader. Race for third developing here as Billy Dietrich holds off the 75 of Ross at the 48 of his brother Danny. All three of them closing in on Schoenberg, but now problems with a lap car for your drivers racing for third. Dietrich gets around in turn number 2, and now both Ross and Danny Dietrich get by the 86 car. Lutz his first time ever at Lincoln Speedway. 2 to go for Forsythe out front. He's got a straightaway lead now on the 55 of Schoenberg. Off the pace is Bradley Howard, and the caution is gonna come out. So the caution out for the 49H of Bradley Howard. The white flag was waving as the caution came out, so we'll have 1 lap to go in heat number 3. Glendon Forsythe had a straightaway lead when the caution came out. Restart cone placed on the front stretch for the first time here today. TJ Libby reminds us he had a 4-second lead when the caution came out. Schoenberg running in second, Billy Dietrich third, Tyler Ross is fourth, Danny Dietrich running in fifth with a lap to go. All drivers have to stay nose to tail for the restart. Anyone who passes before the cone, hits the cone and knocks it down or goes to the inside of the cone, penalized at the next restart or the end of the event, whichever comes first. Only 1 lap remains though, green and checkered. Forsythe takes him down the backstretch. Picking up the win, and heat number 3 will be the 2W of Glendon Forsythe. Schoenberg finishes second, followed by Dietrich, Ross, and Dietrich. So picking up the win in heat number 3 will be the 2W of Glendon Forsythe. Finishing second will be the 55 of Hunter Schoenberg. Third, the 8 of Billy Dietrich. Those 3 will redraw for starting spots at the front of today's feature field. Finishing fourth, the 75 of Tyler Ross. Fifth, the 48 of Danny Dietrich. And sixth, the 87 of Alan Crimes. They are your qualifiers through heat number 3. Now, next up, of course, will be the B main, the consolation event, as tension in the outer pit area. Brian Householder, our race director, will be coming out to the payoff shack for the redraw for the cars that finished in the top 3 spots of all 3 heats. So once again, the top 3 drivers from each of the heats. Brian Householder is working his way over right now. He will be heading over to the payoff shack. Please report there to redraw for your starting spots for today's feature event. We're going to have just a few minutes here to give the drivers that were in heat number 3 an opportunity to get ready for today's consolation event. So we will have a consi, and we will have a brief, very brief break here while we get those, give those drivers time to get their cars ready for the consi here today. Once again, just a final reminder to the fans, not park in the reserved parking spots in the outer parking lots. We have folks